muscularis, and the surface has villi, and the villi are made up of these not squamous epithelial cells, but of columnar with microvilli. Microvilli. Okay. So this represents a villus. Here's one villus, two villus, three villus. Here's another villus behind it. So these are villi. Okay. So that's the first thing that you see on the list. Villi is plural. Villus is one. The capillary net are these capillaries that are inside the villi. Now remember, these villi are absorbing nutrients as well as garbage passing through the intestinal tract. So these are the capillaries that first receive material, okay, from the small intestine. So that's the capillary net. Then we have an arteriovenous anastomosis. See it right here? Arterial blood, venous blood mixed together. Arteriovenous anastomosis again, just like we had in the liver. Muscularis mucosa. This thin muscle layer right here, very thin muscle layer, is the muscularis mucosa. It's in the mucosal layer, which you remember I told you is the first layer you encounter as you worm your way through the wall of the intestinal tract from inside to outside. Okay. So muscularis mucosa. Notice that the muscularis mucosa sends fibers up into the villi. What you have to picture is that the villi not only wave back and forth, but pump up and down. By having these things contract, they would pump up and down. So that the material, the food material that's passing through here, if it's going to move osmotically, it moves from where it's more concentrated to where it's less concentrated. So after a while, if it moves in, it becomes equally concentrated on both sides. So what we have to do is we have to move the stuff along like this. Pumping up and down makes the blood go out of here, takes the nutrients away from here, so it gets less concentrated, so more can move in, and waving back and forth brings fresh stuff in. So you can see how that contributes to the absorption of the nutrients and whatever is moving down. So muscularis mucosa and its fibers, muscle fibers. I'm talking too much. The lacteal, these green things, this time they're not bile on this model. The green things are lymphatics. This lymphatic vessel which is going to absorb fats. Fats don't go directly into the blood. Fats go into the lacteals first. So this is called a lacteal, and it contains lymph, and it absorbs fat. The columnar epithelial cells are all along here. The little blue dots are goblet cells that secrete mucus. Goblet cells that secrete mucus. Okay. Paneth cells are these red things down here. See them?
No. That one red thing you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Just the one?
These red things down here. Paneth, P-A-N-E-T-H. Now, the significance of the paneth cells, it's somewhat controversial. The paneth cells have a function similar to white blood cells. It's a protective series of cells. Okay, so they produce antibodies, they gobble up cells, and so they're part of the lymphatic system. Okay, in addition, the cells down here keep reproducing, and as they reproduce, it sends these. What do you call these cells? It sends these
Goblet cells?
Mucus cells.
no, the goblet as well as these columnar epithelial cells. They start climbing up the hill. Okay, by the time they arrive at the top, they undergo a lot of wear and tear because they're subject to chemicals and acid. Well, it's no longer acid, but they're subject to digestive juices and so on. So there's a lot of wear and tear. So these things are dying and falling off, and these things are climbing up to replace them. So the area of the paneth cells not only is protective, but also is a rapid mitotic division area. And they climb up the hill and then get sloughed off. So that the digestive enzymes that are inside these cells then get added to the digestive juice that's running along in here, helping to digest our foodstuffs.